Okay, hey, I'm not here to tell you that I have finished a book. I'm actually here to tell you that I'm going to go ahead and roll again because I'm about to leave to go on vacation. So no, today's not even the first. I've not even started the first book, but I am leaving on the 2nd to go on a trip. And I will probably still be reading the first book. I did get a copy of it from our library, The Surgeon, which is the first in the Rosalian Isle series. So that's what I'm kicking off with. I know you guys just saw that, and I'm acting like it's been a couple of days because for me it has been. Anyway, I'm going to still use my phone and update y'all on the things that I'm reading and how it's going, but I don't want to have to do rolls and all the rest of it while I'm on vacation. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 more times and see what I get and see what I need to do so that I at least have things to read. I'm going to be gone a week and I can't take a lot of physical books with me, which means I can't take my graphic novels. I'm probably going to bring a couple, just depending on what I roll right here. So let me get the dice and let's give it a roll. Okay, as soon as I type dice roller or click on this, it's going to roll for me and we get a 2. Wow, we're not trying to move fast, are we? So I'm purple and I'm going 1, 2. That is green number 4, which is a Django pick. Oh my gosh, how cute. Okay, so let me look at all of my books. These are all the ones that I have already checked out from Libby. All of these in this whole box. So I'm going to pick 2 of those and I'm going to put them on the floor for Django to pick out. He's asleep behind me right now, so I'm going to do that in just a second. Let's go ahead and do the next roll. Are you serious? 2 again? Okay, 5, 6. I'm 1 behind y'all, and I have not landed on a bucket list. I wanted to get a bucket list. Okay, 6 is the first. I read the first sentence in 5 different books. Okay, I'm going to pick physical books that I own and do that. Okay, here are the 5 that I have that are already on this TBR beside me that I'm going to read the first sentence of each one and then I'm going to pick out what I'm going to have. I mean, I might as well read them to y'all. It's not giving anything away. So here we go. Game on. Sentence 1. What the hell? That's it. That's the first sentence. I like it. It's something I say a lot at my house. Then Tower of Dogs. Oh, we have a map in this one. I love a book with a map. Okay, chapter 1. If the orphan looked any worse, no one would want it. Oh, I like that. Okay, then we have Amari and the Despicable Wonders. This is book 3. Hopefully the first sentence will not have a spoiler. I mean, surely it won't, right? No, I don't think so. When Quentin told us we'd be hiding out somewhere top secret, I pictured an underground bunker way out in the wilderness. Okay. That's all on this one. Simsalin, if you're watching, I see that you're playing The Sims right now while I'm filming this. Okay. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Y'all, so many comments when this got added to the TBR of y'all saying, I loved Addie LaRue. Actually, one person said, I think it was overhyped. So we'll see. The Invisible Life. We have a little... The girl wakes up in someone else's bed. Okay. So far, I'm liking the orphan quote from Tower of Dogs. Y'all will have to tell me which one you would have picked. Okay, then we have The Mystery Guest, which is book 2 after The Maid. And this is the second book in that series. Okay. Oh, of course, it's about her gran. I totally forgot her gran. Okay. My gran once told me a story about a maid, a rat, and a spoon. It went like this. Okay. Wow, all that does is just prove to me that I actually want to read all these books. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Tower of Dogs. I really want to read this. It'll be nice to have a book with me while we're on vacation that I can sit down and get lost in because I'm the way we do vacations, which hopefully you'll see that because I think I'm going to be vlogging most of the vacation, but we do one day out where we're gone most of the day doing things. And then we do the next day where we just maybe go out once for that day. Like we go do one activity and then we come back. So we sleep later that morning. We just move slower. We have just found out that with the dynamic of the children that we have and my husband and I, it just works best if we extend the vacation out a couple of days, because we could definitely do this vacation in just 3 days. Instead, we're going to do it in 6 days, and we're going to rest. So we got a really good deal on an Airbnb, so it's going to be like a house, and I'm very excited. So anyway, this is what I'm reading. Let me go see what Django is picking out for me. That's going to be book number 2. And since I have this pile of books beside me, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I loved the opening line for, and also Game On, which I'm just excited to read. I know I said I was going to pick 2 books off of the thing up here. Oh, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Addie LaRue is going to represent herself, okay? But Game On is going to represent Dungeons and Drama because I need to read that one for sure in January. So what better time than to just pick it up now? So I'm going to switch you to my phone camera so that we can watch Django picking books. Okay, Django is now comfy in this chair, but we're going to have him pick the books. And the baby girl is over here in this chair. This is where she likes to lay. So she's going to want a treat as well when she sees me getting him a treat. So anyway, I'm going to put the 2 books here. Let me go grab the treats. Okay, since his little chair that he's in is right there, I'm going to turn the books. Oh, he got down immediately. I don't have a treat on him yet, babe. I'm going to turn the books. He's checking everywhere because he knows they're in my hand. And look, I told you she'd be here too. Look, they think I have them, which I do, but they're not in this hand. Anyway, I'm going to have to recruit some help to get the dogs wrangled. So my helper said, "Do you need help with Django picking a book?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I knew it was something dumb." Look at Django sitting so pretty because he knows if he sits, he gets a treat. This girl will not sit. Look at her. She's like, "Nope, I'm not sitting." She's wild. Okay, so I'm holding Skeeter so she can't go. And Django's right there. Ron just put a treat on each one of them. So now, come on. I've already given them a treat. Look, he does not know where to go. Django, come over here to the books.
Yeah, go.
He's coming. I hear him. Come here, babe. Pick a book. Oh, Addie LaRue. Nice. Good boy. Thank you for your help. Okay, so some of you are going to be very happy that he picked Addie LaRue. I was thinking that he wasn't. Like, he almost acted like he was going to go to the other one, and then he picked Addie. So, anyway, they're both very confused as to why they just got treats for doing absolutely nothing. But anyway, that is exciting that I have the next 2 books that I'm reading. And I'm right behind you guys. I will be passing you probably when I get back from vacation. So my plan is, what I'm actually going to do is, here are the books that I still want to read in the first quarter. And I'm going to be coming out with a video soon of the specific January prompts, which are these 7 books over here, plus one more, which we'll get to later. And I do want to read those books in January. So if I finish all 3 of these prompts, I'm not going to play on my phone and be like, okay, I'm doing the next roll, like whatever. I'm going to pick back up when I get back from vacation. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to pick one of these books to read. I did check out The Body from my library, which is a part of the different seasons, the Stephen King thing. I think this is the 3rd story in there. I'm not sure the order. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're reading this on Jake's Discord, and he has, each one of the stories has their own chat space. So I'll be talking in there. It'll be a reread for me, but I might pick this up and read it because the whole different seasons book is on Libby, but there's like a 12-week hold or something, and I need to read it in January. So I am on hold just in case it comes through, but I can at least reread The Body. And I remember all the stories in there except one, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So when I come back, I may have some books to remove from the overall list just because I read them outside of the game. So I'm not going to beat myself up if I finish reading everything. Like I finish, because the second book is going to be Addie LaRue, and then the third book is going to be Tower of Dogs. So Tower of Dogs, I only have physically. So during the day, every chance I get to read, I'm going to be reading this. But at night, when I just want to unwind and play games on my phone, I want to listen to something. So when we're in the Airbnb, I'm going to be listening to one of those books that I got on Libby. So I got to show y'all one more thing, and then I'm going to go because the month has not even started yet. And I know I've already got like 20 minutes worth of filming in this episode. So I have the first on my sheet on my planner, and I have already put the first book that I'm reading. I printed out all the books onto sticker paper. I don't know if y'all's library has this available, but my library where I work, we print 5 color pages for people for free. 5, like 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper for free. And I printed every book that I'm planning to read in the first quarter, and it took 2 sheets of paper. So I made them that small. You saw that on my thing. I made them that small because I'm going to put them in there when I start them. And then underneath, I'll write the date when I finish reading whatever the book is. So they're all in here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the next 2 books that I know I'm reading, and I will take them with me on vacation in my planner. And then I'll be able to stick them in. Actually, there's a pocket in the back. I may just be able to put, there's a pocket in the back. I'm just going to put all of them down in this pocket. So I have them all in my planner whenever I start a new book. Because like I said, I might start books that are outside of the game. So it's nice that I have them with me now for our trip. So I think that is all. That's all. Can y'all tell I'm real chatty for some reason? But that's all. And I kind of want to roll on one next time so that I can do a prompt with y'all. Not a prompt, but a checklist, a bucket list. Check. Anyway, okay. I've already gotten some comments from some people who have told me what they're doing, and I cannot wait. Anyway, so I will be back on the 1st to check in, let you know how the surgeon's going, because I'm just going to be hanging out here at the house reading, probably doing reading sprints. So I'll let y'all know how the surgeon's going. See you then. Okay, y'all. First of all, I realized that I didn't say hello and welcome to the channel when I started the thing. I guess I thought that when I first picked the book that I was reading back in the other video, that everybody would just know that I was starting the game, where I was, and all of that stuff. And so I just jumped in drawing other books or picking other books, and I didn't even say hi. So it's been a minute if you're watching the video still, but hi. I'm glad that you're here. I started reading The Surgeon at midnight last night, and I'm on page 154. It's in the middle of chapter 10. I'm going to tell y'all, this is not a good bedtime book to read. I read it when I was laying in bed last night after midnight so that it would be on the 1st. And I had to switch over to just music and listen to music for a good 30 minutes to like cleanse my brain before I fully went to sleep. This is not a good bedtime book. It is way more thrillery than I expected it to be. Also, this is a Rizzoli and Isles book. There's so many thoughts going through my head. Okay, number 1, it's written by a doctor. Here's what it says about Tess Gerritsen. It says, she left a successful practice as an internist to raise her children and concentrate on her writing. So she knows the human body and the things that she is having this serial killer do to the human body is super disgusting. And not just that, but all of the descriptions in the ER. Oh my gosh. So Isles, the Rizzoli and Isles group, Isles is the doctor. And she is, she works in the ER, and the number of things that are just disgusting that we have already dealt with 150 pages into this book, I'm like, oh, that is so gross. I don't even want to picture what is happening right now. And then Rizzoli is the only female detective on the police force, and the amount of crap that she's got to put up with, oh my gosh. Her water bottles that sit on her desk, they keep dropping tampons in them. I'm like, could y'all grow up? It's ridiculous. But anyway, they're not friends. They didn't even know each other when this started. I thought they worked together, and they were like, this is a thing that happened. And they don't even really like each other right now. Like, as they've met each other, they don't really like each other. So I'm very confused about how this partnership is going to develop, or what I thought was a partnership. Because when I saw the TV show, I thought that Rizzoli, the detective, knew Isles. And I also thought Isles was a medical examiner, not an ER doctor. So maybe they changed some of that for the TV show, or maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. You know what I could be thinking about? Women's Murder Club, because I also watched that on TV. So maybe I haven't seen Rizzoli and Isles, and I just think that I have. Anyway, the writing is really good. It's easy for me to get sucked in. We do get the killer's point of view a little bit as well. So it's, the killer is jacked up. And I'm afraid it's going to be somebody that we've met, and I don't want it to be. I don't want any of it. We have trigger warnings for so much discussions of rape. Not detailed, but just, part of it is kind of detailed. No, it's not detailed, but just a lot of bringing it back up and trying to get people to talk about it. And the internet is a new thing, and they're in a chat room. They have a chat room, which is just funny to see her explain what a chat room is to her boss. I thought that was funny, but, yeah, that's it. We do have a detective that I like. I don't remember his name. It might be Brown. Oh, its name is Moore. Okay. He's the detective that I like. And his wife passed away a year and a half ago, and everything in his house is still there exactly like it was. She had some kind of aneurysm. So it wasn't she did not die of old age. Anyway, they were married for 20 years. They didn't have any children. So he still goes and visits his mother-in-law. It's really sweet. I really like him. We do get his point of view as well. So it's not just one or two POVs. This one is definitely multi-POV book. I am going to finish it before bedtime tonight because I can't deal with that tonight. So that's all I have left. I'm going to add it into a rotation where I'm going to do a couple of video edits and then read this and back and forth. But I will check in with you when I have finished this book and give you my final rating for it. And then we'll talk about how I'm going to rate books in 2025. I am trying right now to fix some of the sound issues that I have had in the past. So hopefully this is better. I'm going to be wearing headphones at least for a while because I can hear myself in the headphones, and I'm hoping that will improve the quality of the audio. Anyway, all of that to say it might sound a little bit different than the beginning clips did, but let's look at the game board and see where we are. Okay, here it is. I don't think I'm blocking anything because I'm up here in this corner, but I'm wondering if I want to put the little book covers on here that I finished based on what I rolled. The first one I landed on right here was an audiobook, and I read The Rizzoli and Isles, The Surgeon. All right, I know it's super tiny, but there it is on there. All right, and the next one I got was a Django pick. Have I seriously moved 2, then 2, then 2? That seems weird. But okay, Django picked Addie LaRue, and there it is. And then this book was the first sentence in 5 books, and then I picked my favorite. My problem is the book that I decided to read is a book that I only have physically. And it took me so long to read Addie LaRue that I really want to just pick another book that is on audio or shorter or something. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick 5 graphic novels that I have to read. And I'm going to read the first sentence of all of those and pick the graphic novel. Okay, I have 5 graphic novels here. Let me pick them up. So I have Full Metal Alchemist, Sandman, Nothing Special, Why the Last Man, and Saga. And those are all on my list to read. And I would like to get them done as we go along for the month. So I'm going to start out reading the first sentence. Of course, it says, hey, you're reading the wrong direction. So I'm only reading the first. This is volumes 1, 2, and 3. I'm only reading the first volume. Chapter 1, The Two Alchemists. I don't know, the first sentence makes sense, but children of God who dwell on the earth, there is no salvation without prayer and faith. Maybe I read like the first page. The sun god Leto, I don't know, will illuminate thy path. Behold, the Lord hath descended from his heavenly throne to save thee from all thy sins. So that is some kind of announcement that's being made. That is what's happening here. Django had to come up here and sit with me. Okay, Sandman. I am on the second story. So it says, don't be a moronic lump of blubbering, quaking, pathetic lard. Open the box. Unwrap it. Then he says, but it isn't my birthday. But it isn't my birthday. Of course it isn't your birthday, powder brain. You don't have a birthday. No, I don't, do I? Okay, that's like half of this first page. I like that. It reminded me of where we were and what we were studying. Now, studying what? Reading. Okay, Nothing Special, Volume 2. I loved Volume 1. It was very cute. Okay, it says Chapter 1, Present Day. The house is for sale, it looks like. Isn't that Declan Hickey's house? Yeah. Sad to hear about his grandma passing away right before graduation. That's heavy stuff. He was great during his valedictorian speech, though. Really held it together. Okay. That doesn't seem fun at all. Okay. Then we have Why. And I am pretty far in this one now. Washington, D.C. We have a fight going on. So it's literally like, oof. That's all that's happening on the first page. I need a line. Oh, I'm seriously rethinking my no hidden women policy. Because he's the last man. And then we have Washington, D.C. 1 hour ago. And then finally, we have Saga. Oh, I'm not going to be able to show you the first page of this. It is a little bit graphically inappropriate. So it's, all right. Okay, so actually, this is my favorite, and I can't read it out loud to y'all. It's just when they, let's see. Oh, here we go. This is the actual cover of the first book. And so the beginning of this story, all the way in here, this far in, is how they conceived the baby. So anyway, it's got some really funny lines in it already. So I can tell you that I'm going to be reading Saga. So over here where I am on my board, I'm going to move the first Saga. It's this cover. And I'm going to put it here. I'm still definitely going to read Tower of Dogs. And I'm going to probably start it today so that it can be going in the background. But I can't halt the whole game for me to read that book. I just read too slow for that to happen. Okay. So let me put this behind. There we go. So I have my thing on top. And then when I finish Saga, we'll come back and roll again. Continue to go around the board. It is the 11th of January, and I have already heard from a lot of you guys who have finished either 1 or 2 of your 3 prompts for the month. So I think that's fantastic. But I'll check back in with you when I finish Saga, and I'll let you know what I thought about all 3 of the books so far, especially Addie LaRue, because I know a lot of you were really excited that I was reading that. So I'll check back in and tell you all about it. Okay, I'm going to fast forward as we play this round of death rolls, If you don't know what this is, I will start explaining it as I'm showing myself playing it. But before I start that, my husband has given us a Lego Sauron. I think that's his name. And his little stand that he's on to be the marker for our game. So I am going to play and you'll see what's going on as I walk you through it. So the first thing you do is pull up a number generator and you're going to go from 1 to 1,000 and you keep lowering your top number until you get to 1. And whatever book that is on, when you get to 1, that book is eliminated and you start over until you get down to just 1 book. I can tell you right now that I'm really hoping Nightfall wins this because I'm excited to read it, but whatever wins, I will be happy with because I want to read all of these books. So I'm going to be reading Something is Killing the Children, Volume 2 as my next book. I was not going to read The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie, but this was the placeholder for the second book in the series. That's what I was going to read if I landed on it. I didn't say that before I started. Also, a lot of you said, why don't you try Google Translate for this? Someone came on and said, this language is not in Google Translate. That's not going to stop me. I'm going to figure out how to translate this book at some point in this first quarter of the month. Then I didn't get Nightfall, as y'all saw, and I didn't get Nothing Special Volume 2. So they go back on the shelf for later, but we get to read Something is Killing the Children, Volume 2. I will probably be starting this one later tonight, and this is probably going to be the last one we do for this episode, and then I'll come back and tell you about it. Y'all, still haven't told you about everything else. I'll do it all at one time when I finish this. I'm so sorry for teasing it the whole time, but it's been like 5 minutes for y'all, so I'll be back when I finish this. I realized that I was muted. Okay, I only read 4 books and only moved 8 spaces. So I didn't mean only, I read 4 books and I only moved 8 spaces. So hopefully the dice will start being nicer and I will start rolling more than a 2, at least to kind of speed things up. I don't know. I don't know how long I want this round to be. I don't know exactly what it is that I'm expecting for this to, like, how long I'm expecting it to take or whatever. But anyway, rolling a 2 every time is not it. Unless I roll a 2 next time, in which case I might get to go to Self-Care Lake. But you'll have to tune in for the next episode to see if that happens or not. Also, for those of you who have definitely noticed that there's been things going on with my audio, thank you for your patience. I am watching videos. People are DMing me suggestions, and I am trying to do my best to get my microphone to cooperate with OBS, the recording software, in a way that does correctly. There are knobs on here that I don't understand, and there's tons of things on the OBS software that I don't understand. So anyway, if you've made it this far to the end, will you leave me a microphone, please? And again, thank you so much for your patience. Now, I am going to quickly break down what the books were about and what I thought about them. So I've already done The Surgeon, but if not, here is my review of it. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It was very gory, which is the only reason that it didn't get higher. So it probably would have gotten a 4.5, but it was very gory and I was unprepared for all of the goriness. But I will be continuing with that series. So that will be coming up eventually this year. Then the next one I read was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. I gave it a 3.5. And I didn't even want to tell y'all. So here's the deal. It was too long. It drug on and on and on. If you have not read Addie, please skip forward to the next review because I'm going to say a few spoilers right here. I did not. I really enjoyed the back and forth, how we went past the present to past the present like that. I thought that was really well done. What I did not like was how often we did that. Like, we get it that she couldn't find anybody to love her and she met all these different artists and musicians and painters and all these people throughout her life and she couldn't keep any of them. None of them could remember her, nothing. So, well, I didn't need to see it 7 million times. It was too long. That was too much. And then when she met Henry, now I'm debating as to whether or not his name is Henry. I'm pretty sure it is Henry. there's not one bit of discussion by either of them of a do I love him or do I love her because they don't fall under the spell. Like, no, they were just like, oh, I've met this one person and they end up being the perfect person for me. Like, it has to have an effect on you that they can remember you, like whoever they are. Because she even loved Luke, and Luke was horrible, but he could remember her. And like she said, he's the one person who remembers me, not person, but whatever. And so I don't know how I felt about her and Henry. I felt super bad for Henry, mostly, through the whole thing. Because I just feel like it left him in a weird place. And I don't, yeah, okay, he wrote everything down and he published a book. He still has his friends. Okay, like that's, and now what? He's just waiting for Addie until Luke no longer wants her? Like, Luke always wants her. He's obsessed with her. So, I don't know. We will just agree to disagree on this one. One person in the comments said, I think Addie LaRue is overhyped. And I think I might agree with him. Okay, Saga. I did number 11. And if you know anything about Saga, this was probably a pretty important episode. They're not called episodes. Editions. They're not called editions. You know, I do this every time I talk about graphic novels and comic books, trying to talk about just one individual issue. It's called an issue. Issue number 11. Y'all, I'm sorry. Anyway, this was probably a pretty important issue. I did look it up because that's how I am. Anyway, I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought it was so good, so well done, setting up things that are going to be happening in the future, what's coming up. It was one that I was supposed to read the first line of, and I couldn't read that. Couldn't read that first line on my channel and still be not get some kind of strike or demonetized. So anyway, that was Saga. Then I read Something is Killing the Children. Here it is, volume 2. I know this one because it's a volume, which is multiple issues in one. Actually, let me tell you how many issues are in here. Although they call them chapters, but let's see. 10. Chapter 10. You can see the full chapter heading up there. Anyway, y'all, in the first volume, they found body parts of the children. In this volume, they have assembled those parts, and the parents are having to come to the gym of their school and identify the parts of their children. No, thank you. That is awful. Anyway, this book was so good. We are following someone that we were already kind of going with in the first one. We met them in the first one. Well, we met everybody in the first one, but I guess I could say in the first book, this guy met whatever is killing the children, because something is killing the children. And so he met what that was. And now he, in this book, is still alive because he's not a child, and he still doesn't understand that part. And so he's like, why is it not killing me? And after he's watched so much death, he's just kind of like, you could just kill me. That would be fine. So it is extremely gory, and it's another one of those stories where the parents do not listen. They're like, protect your children. Don't let your children out. The parents are like, they're fine because I can see them. No, they told you not to let them out, period. So we'll see what happens, because I will definitely be continuing in this series. I really, really enjoyed it. But that means we're done. So again, leave me a microphone emoji. Thank you for being the best. And I will see you guys in the next Book Quest TBR video. Bye.